Welcome, and thanks for listening to Intrinsic Investigations. My name is Mr. Olivo, and I created this podcast because I've been fortunate enough over the last decade to see unique and thought-provoking projects happen in my classroom, and we wanted a place to showcase them. The true heart of this podcast lies not in the content discovered, but in exploring the personal stories of these young researchers as they journey through uncharted and unfamiliar intellectual terrain. By sharing their stories, we hope to normalize the challenges and frustrations that come with independent research, and also share those moments where students transcend the normal grind of the school day to discover concepts that range from the global to deeply personal. We will begin with a brief introduction to the student of focus, why they picked their topic, and discuss their growth over the course of the last year. It should be mentioned that the opinions expressed in this podcast in no way reflect the opinions of our school district, Bergen County Technical Schools and Special Services, or our school itself, Bergen County Technical High School, Teterboro, or the College Board. The work detailed in this podcast was most likely completed in AP Capstone, but this podcast is in no way affiliated with the College Board. Episode 7? Yes, this is episode 7 of season 3, and I am joined here today by Erin. Erin, you want to introduce yourself? Who are you? What are you into? Give us a little mini biography.
Hi, my name is Erin. I'm a junior in Bergen Tech, and I'm in the fashion and merchandising major, and I'm really interested in marketing.
You're really interested in marketing. Did that play into the project that we're going to end up talking about?
Yeah, it's not like directly about marketing. Oh wait, no, it is, but it's like you'll see when I explain it.
It's something about the marketing. How? So you're in AP Research. How would you say AP Research compares to AP Seminar before we get into?
I think AP Seminar is more like a curriculum-based kind of, and also like they provide you with a theme. And like that kind of helps you find your sources, and also I think that's when like Mr. Olivo or Miss Cornelia like offers a lot of more help on how to like find academic sources, how to make sure your sources are credible. But in research, it's more like freedom, I guess, and that just depends on the type of person you are. Like if you're good with this space, like if you're productive with it, or if you're not. And I think that kind of depends on how your research is conducted and like the pace of it. So it just depends on the person, I feel like.
Yeah, last episode with Sayla, we talked a lot about just the decision-making process. How important making decisions
for research,
is for research. And even the curriculum, just from a teaching angle, is more about creating the space for independent inquiry and investigation versus SEM, where maybe there's a bit more structure and hand-holding. How did you feel about that?
Like with the less hand-holding?
Yeah, with the less hand. The shift. How did you feel about the shift?
I mean, at first it was kind of difficult for me because I'm usually better when like a curriculum is given to me. But when I entered research, like Mr. Olivo knows, but I pivoted so many times. So I feel like the freedom that was given to me, it was kind of difficult to manage like the type of research that I'm doing, like how well I'm doing it, and also like at first, I was going to conduct a meta-analysis on parent-adolescent relationships, but then like it took me so long to recognize that like I don't know how to do a meta-analysis, and also like I would really struggle if I do conduct it, and that maybe a content analysis, which is my research, is like better for me. So I think I like struggled a bit in the beginning, and then by the end, I think it was more like smooth. Yeah.
Oh, on the recognition board, there definitely is something over there that said, there's a recognition board in the room. It says, Erin, good job on pivoting, and someone drew a smiley face with stars to recognize your pivot. I don't know if you've ever noticed that.
I think someone told me. I just
You never saw it. You never saw it. The pivoting aspect is important, especially in the beginning of the class, because, as you said, well, in the beginning, you probably didn't know how to do a content analysis either, but it's making that decision to stick with both a method and a topic that you're not super familiar with. And I think in the end, we'll talk about what your shifts were, but did you feel comfortable with the decisions you made and how it fits into your current and possibly future interests?
So, yeah, I think the topic I chose now is like much more me. Like in the beginning, I really was interested in parent-adolescent relationships, because like I kind of see that change as like you grow older. And even though I really like that
Yeah.
even though I really like that topic, the method behind it would be really difficult because I can't like give people surveys asking about like, oh, how's your relationship with your parents? Because that'd be like unethical.
Yeah, it could
with
be
the
unethical,
IRB,
depending
right?
on what you're asking.
Yeah. So I think me moving on to a content analysis on Brandy Melville, which I'll be going on later, was much better for me because like I kind of wanted my paper to be something I'm interested in for college and like my future, I guess, career. So this marketing aspect and also like the social media was really interesting to me, and I think it helped me realize that this is what I would like to do.
So your work is at the intersection of 4 things, and I'll let you explain the work, but it seems it's marketing, fashion, social media,
and like body image.
Yeah. Like those seem like the 4 things that you were focused on. I guess give an overview of what your topic was and how you even came to settle on this one, because we did talk about in the beginning of the year you jumped around a little bit, but then this was the one that you put a ring on, for lack of a better term. So why this topic?
So my topic, like my literal research paper title, is The Thin Ideal Representation in Brandy Melville's Instagram, a qualitative content analysis examining body size representation and visual marketing. And I was interested in this because this was a pretty big jump from like human psychology to like marketing and like I guess kind of psychology in it with like body image.
Yeah.
At first, after the parent adolescent pivot, I moved on to like it was like manipulation of sizing charts in specific brands.
I recall that.
And that was a source from Lecky et al. And he finds that like certain brands will manipulate their size charts in order for people to like think they're more thinner or like more skinnier to buy their clothes. So that's kind of like a marketing manipulation, but there weren't a lot of sources on that, and also like a lot of the sources were written by Lecky himself.
Okay.
So I feel like that would be kind of biased just to use like one author. And
you want to diversify your perspective, sure.
So then, like, as I was going on TikTok, I started looking at, like, Brandy Melville. And, like, a lot of people had, like, really heavy critiques on their clothing, specifically because they follow, like, this one-size-fits-all. And their one-size-fits-all is, like, extra, extra small. So I thought that was interesting, and also how, like, that affects particularly a girl's body image, because Brandy Melville is more suited for girls. And that brought me to like combine Lecky's on size manipulation and kind of that one size fits all. And he made me realize like, oh, how does Brandy Melville kind of show thin body idealization or like body exclusivity, just like not within that just one size fits all frame, but also maybe their social media after what I saw on TikTok. So I like looked at their Instagram, and like from just what I saw, even without the coding process within my content analysis, it's just like a bunch of like thin girls who are predominantly white. So I became more interested in that rather than their one size fits all and the TikTok videos.
Okay, and you noticed that you wanted to dig deeper into it. As someone who's completely ignorant of this, because I'm a man, I feel like even from a young age, most of the clothes that I'm dealing with as a man are just measured in like inches. It's like, all right, so like this is like it's the 32-inch waist on a pair of pants. Do you? I mean, as a person who has a fashion background, is there just a very low standardization of clothes for women, like in general?
Like low standard size?
No, I guess I mean like. I'm just asking because I just don't know. And like I've talked to other women about this, like where it's like, a size, whatever size number at this location is not equal to the size at that location. So
100%.
Like, so then how does one shop for clothes? Like it's just like you got to try it on and figure it out.
I guess that too, but also some stores like Aeropostale, like their sizes ranges from like 0 to 00 to like 4 zeros.
What's a quadruple zero? Like, what does that even mean?
Like it's like an extra small.
Okay. All right.
And something that Miss George, my fashion teacher, told me was that like brands will do this in order for you to shop there. So like, let's say like realistically you're like a size medium, but like in Aeropostale they market that as a size small. That label, like that S, like makes you more attracted to that brand. You're like, oh, I'm more fit, or like I'm more skinnier, so that makes you feel more positive about yourself. So I guess in one way it kind of like ups your body satisfaction, but also like manipulates you into like this like whole idea of like body image and stuff like that.
Is any of that sizing difference, I don't know if you came across this in any of your studies, and you don't have to respond to this if you don't know, but on some level, does that contribute to body dysmorphia where you...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what my study's kind of like surrounding on. Like if you fit into Brandy Melville's clothes, you're kind of in this like, oh, like, yeah, I'm skinny, like I fit into Brandy Melville. Versus if you don't, it makes you feel like less value your body, because like Brandy Melville is a really popular brand among young female adolescents. Like when you don't feel like you're fitted inside that community of those consumers, it kind of makes you think like, oh, one, it doesn't fit me, but also like I can't be a part of this like consumerism, I guess. So,
okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned several times over the course of your work this idea of almost like a country club.
Yeah.
Was it country club mentality? I forget how you phrased it.
It's like country club marketing approach.
Country club marketing approach. Do you want to explain what that is before we get into your data? What is the country club marketing approach, and how does it? Maybe you could apply it to other brands other than Brandy Melville, so people who, if they're unfamiliar with the brand, could be like, "Oh, okay, like I see what you're talking about."
So country club marketing approach was defined by Vansley and Waymer, which is one of my key frameworks and authors or researchers for my study, and they do like a qualitative case study on Brandy Melville, and then they don't have like a sampled size of Instagram posts, but they look at 3. And then they mention that like these 3 are like photos of multiple models with similar body types that they see, but also they're kind of framed in like this outside setting, almost as if like you would post this yourself on your own Instagram page.
It feels natural.
Yeah, it feels natural, like candid.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just out sipping matchas, hanging with my buds. Yeah, okay. All right.
And like, but this was back in 2016, so like these girls are like on a beach all together, like laughing and enjoying
the 2016
their
vibes. That's what I hear. I hear there's a 2016 nostalgia wave going on.
I guess that too.
Yeah.
And then they define it as like, because these models are like, they all look the same, first of all. And also like at this point, it was known that Brandy Melville promotes one size fits all, because it was also like a part of their store. So like, I guess in 2016, if you go into the store, they have like this, what do you call it? Like this board that says like one size fits all. So it's just like directly like right in front of the shoppers.
Like I walk in and it just says one size fits all. And if it doesn't fit me, I'm not a member of the all?
Yeah. That's just kind of like it was more like cruel, I guess, like in the 2016 marketing. So they kind of write this like country club as in like, you can't fit into this like exclusive and like limited, not really like rich, but like, I can't find a word like this. I guess it's like this fancy, idealization of just thin models, and that's how they kind of base it off of country club marketing approach.
Well, it's an exclusive club, and the exclusive club seems to be based on whether or not you can fit into
the and like body image. So yeah,
and then that's inadvertently, or well, I guess directly, it's directly tied to weight.
Yeah,
I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've name dropped a couple of sources on this. So what does your process look like to try to examine what's going on? You ultimately chose Instagram over TikTok.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? So
TikTok, like Brandy Melville doesn't have a TikTok account, and mostly if you search up Brandy Melville, like it's just shoppers critiquing Brandy Melville stores, and that goes the same for Reddit. And it's like just like on and off arguments about like, oh, but Brandy Melville's just fit for skinny people. Like, so I don't want to examine that. I want to examine their body image. Yeah. Okay. The body image that they're sending to its consumers. And Brandy Melville's only promotional page is either their online store or their Instagram. Wow. But I focus on their Instagram because it shows more candid and natural photos. And I want to kind of follow in the steps of what Vansley and Waymer did. So that led to me choosing Instagram, their only promotional post. And the process, I would say, was a little difficult. because I'm examining body types, so I kind of want it to be ethical too, if there are going to be readers and like those I'm presenting to. So at first I was going off of a BMI scale from Michelin and Musap, who like finds AI body generate image on women's satisfaction of their bodies. But it was interesting because they find that like even the skinniest body types generated by this computer, it still dissatisfies a woman's standard in what a skinny body should look like emphasis and like quotes on skinny. And I was going to use the body generated image that they used, but like I was asking, I was kind of worried it was unethical, so I just kind of asked like ChatGPT, like, is this unethical or not?
ChatGPT is a check. Yeah.
And then they actually say like in the study, it just kind of shows that this is for medical purposes and like eating disorders. So it'd be really unethical for me, the researcher, to just assign weights on these like models that like don't have names or like their profiles aren't even on there. So that would be unethical. So I thought like using the BMI would be like kind of ironic for me to be conducting something unethical on something that is unethical. Yeah. So I moved on to try to find codes, which helped me find the AI generated was not Michelin Musap, it was Moosely. The body images I pivoted to was Michelin Musap.
Okay.
So Michelin Musap, they also generate body types, but from Instagram pages using hashtags of like thin ideal, fit ideal, and plus size body types. And it helped them generate like a specific image on what Instagram the Instagram models that's categorized as thin ideal, fit ideal, and plus size ideal. And even though there are limitations to me using that, I still went with that other than going with like the BMI scale. And I made sure to address that the limitation was I'm only using 3 body types out of the many body types that could be already existing. So that led me to my codes for the body indicators, the visible body indicators. And then for codes and like the analysis of patterns, I just expanded on Vansley and Waymer's findings. They're like analysis of like country club approach and also their ideas on thin body idealization. So yeah, that's how I came up to my like generalizations and like my findings.
The 3 that you mentioned, you have thin, fit, and plus. People can't, I know that you have like a visual rep of this, but people can't see that visual representation over a podcast. How would you describe the difference, let's just say with the first 2, what's the difference between a thin body ideal and a fit body ideal? Like what would be some differences?
The way I coded it was that in thin body ideals, there's mostly like a visible collarbone, a very narrow waist, slender upper arms and lower limbs, and very slender legs, and also like a flat stomach, which is visually represented by Michelin and Musap. And I feel like a lot of people get confused between like fit and thin, but in this case, fit is like just genuine like abs in the core, muscles around the arms or like legs. So that's a difference between those 2.
So then, in general, there's just a higher degree of muscle tone.
Yes. And lower fat in
exhibited
ideal.
muscle tone.
Yes.
And lower fat in the fit body ideal versus the thin body ideal. And then plus size, where does that fit into this?
So plus size is more like sorry, let me go to my code. There's more fuller upper limbs and fuller lower limbs, and there's like a less defined waist, and it's more like curvy. And like if you're gonna compare that to thin body, there's less visible bone structure. So if a thin model has like a visible collarbone, this model does not. Like the fit ideal, the fit ideal, the plus size,
or like ribs or something like that. Okay, all right, that makes sense. So you've got these 3 different types. What do you do on Instagram to generate your data with those 3 types?
So I'm using, I did 75 posts because it was mostly difficult to just look through the models, and like it's just me like seeing if they have these characteristics. So like most of my models had like a visible collarbone.
So visible bone structure.
Yeah, visible bone structure, or like slender limbs and a narrow waist. So most of these models were categorized as thin ideal. Actually, what's interesting is like none of them were categorized for fit ideal or plus size ideal. So it's either Brandy Melville. It is that Brandy Melville specifically focuses on utilizing thin models, but like if the visible body indicators that I saw from Brandy Melville did not fit inside Michelin and Musap's generated images, I will mark that as inapplicable because it's a body type that I did not analyze. So
it fell outside of
it fell outside of my framework. So
what would a body type that would be inapplicable to thin fit or plus look like?
So they don't have slender limbs, nor do they have muscles in it.
Okay.
But it's also not like they have like fuller limbs. It just doesn't fit in to any of the characteristics that I put on for these 3 generated models.
So of the 3, it would be like, let's say, not thin enough to meet the thin ideal,
but not muscular enough to fit the fit ideal,
and not large enough to meet the plus. Yeah. Okay. What did the data reveal about how Brandy? I guess about the appearance of the Brandy Melville models that you examined in those 75 posts.
So there was a high amount of thin body idealization in Brandy Melville's Instagram posts, which just means that most of them were thin ideal. And in like specific percentages, it's like 89.2% of Brandy Melville's Instagram posts are just straight thin models.
Of the ones you observed?
Of the ones that I observed. And that kind of showed me a pattern and like kind of helped me connect back to Vansley and Waymer to the point where I was like, oh, Brandy Melville does only utilize thin models in their promotional Instagram page, which kind of goes back to Vansley and Waymer's findings of like this body exclusivity. And also Vansley and Waymer does mention the one size fits all. So like these models are wearing the one size fits all clothing that might not fit the many other consumers in Brandy Melville's community. So, yeah.
How did you sample those 70? Obviously, their Instagram page is probably way more than 75 posts. So how did you end up picking those 75?
So it was kind of random. Like,
was it literally random? Like you did like a randomized selection?
Yeah. I just like kind of like scrolled and like I like stopped. And then it just started off like with September and it ended in March.
And from there it was a random selection within.
Yeah.
Why no random number generator? Why'd you?
You know, I didn't know how to use it.
Oh, you should have asked. You think that you think the scrolling? How did you not introduce bias that way? Because I'm just thinking, if I was scrolling through something, subconsciously maybe I'm picking something.
No, I just closed my eyes were closed and I just.
Are you just scrolling?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. That's.
I really wanted to make it unbiased.
Okay. That is definitely one way to do it. So in the end, what can we say about Brandy Melville's marketing on Instagram?
Mm-hmm. So I didn't mention this, like I forgot to, but I also measured like their setting types like within those setting types, I would also write in like my analysis section. So if like imagine a Google Sheets, like on the way right, there's a analysis section. And I try to find that how Brandy Melville like frames these models to be so natural, whether it's in outdoor or indoor settings. And
what's a natural framing look like?
So
like
a natural
wood
framing
paneling?
No, a natural framing from Vansley and Waymer, which they mention, is just like outdoor settings, in a city, like walking together, friends walking together, like drinking coffee or like reading a book together. It's like very candid, like things like relatable activities that you would do yourself, except it's just in a marketing strategy.
Okay,
now.
See, I was misunderstanding. I thought it was like natural in the sense of you
like
were
greenery?
In nature.
Oh,
no,
but
it's not. It's more just a casual, commonplace
that we ourselves would go
thing
to.
that we'd be doing. Yeah.
And I found that Brandy Melville uses like 89% of their Instagram posts is outdoor settings and 11% is indoor. But those indoor settings were in Brandy Melville stores. So like these models would look like they were shopping in Brandy Melville. Yeah. So I kind of came to the conclusion that Brandy Melville uses, like I mentioned earlier, just specifically thin ideal models, mostly set in outdoor settings, which expands on Vansley and Weimer's ideas of this naturalness. So like they're conducting these relatable activities while wearing the one-size-fits-all clothing. And I think what kind of sets that is the ones that they're wearing, the one-size-fits-all clothing that promotes exclusivity to its consumers because they can't fit into this one small size. So by conducting these relatable activities, it just kind of shows to users like, oh, like, look at me, like, I'm wearing Brandy Melville's clothes, but I'm also at a photo booth with my friends wearing this really cute outfit that whether you can or cannot fit in. Mm-hmm. So it just kind of like more reinforces this size exclusivity if like you're just scrolling through Brandy Melville's Instagram page.
I'm on their Instagram page right now. They have 3 million followers. So that's
they have a lot of
that's a lot of followers, and they have almost 10,000 posts. And even if like right now I'm just looking at the first 3 posts that they have out, 2 people are one is a single person who's outside. She's walking down like a city street. Then there's 3 friends hanging out at the beach, and then there is someone who's in a music studio armed with an acoustic guitar. So wow. Yeah. Actually, there's a good amount of acoustic guitars going on, even in the.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like those are videos, and like in videos, like they're kind of framed differently. So like I didn't analyze the videos, I just did the photos.
True.
But what was interesting was that like, you know what I mean by like very natural. Like it seems so like.
It could be any one of us.
Yeah.
Just hanging, just chilling, and
at a guitar, playing guitar.
Yeah, just playing guitar because why not? Because music is beautiful.
Yeah.
No, I understand. It's just the term natural can
mean so many things, right? But in this case, it's like relatable activities to what we would do. Yeah.
Yeah, relatable, commonplace activities. So then the question is, what did you sought to find something out. What did you end up finding out through this process?
So I think this kind of goes back to to the gap of my research project. And the gap was like most of my sources, like Vansley and Weimer, they don't have quantitative evidence on how often Brandy Melville promotes thin body idealization. And although my sample size is really small, I think it kind of still like adds to the step of providing a quantitative evidence on how social media promotes thin body idealization. And also by connecting that by systematically analyzing, which is something that Vansley and Weimer kind of lack, it kind of synthesizes Vansley's findings and also my overall findings for like a greater knowledge of how brands like Brandy Melville or like manipulate or like market thin body idealization to its consumers, and how we could like become more aware of them and not to like really like fall for it, I guess.
Yeah. So in the end, Brandy Melville is selling clothes, but they're also selling. What would you say there? Like,
I think they're also selling this idea. I think they're also selling this like narrowing reinforcement of beauty standards, like. From my other source, Hogan and Strasburger, they find that continuous exposure to thin body idealization on social media leads to even bigger risks like eating disorders and like body dysmorphia, like you mentioned before. And I think Brandy Melville reinforcing this not just through their clothes but also through their models, kind of affects like women or girls like us. That we need to fit into this specific body standard in order to be in part of this like trendy clothing style. So, yeah.
Is the body exclusivity demonstrated, I guess it's in opposition to body positivity?
Yeah.
Like, is it fair to say that those things oppose one another?
Yeah, that's what Hogan and Strasburger also mentioned, that like our positivity of our body is lowered, leading to body dissatisfaction, leading to eating disorders and body dysmorphia.
You're going to go into fashion in the future, or you
like
plan
fashion
on
business.
Business, and you're aware of this.
Yeah.
How do you bring this into your projected future into business and fashion, which is probably going to touch on marketing. Like,
I think, like, if I could, like, I would talk to, like, the people, like, of Brandy, Melville, and, like, others. I don't know any other stores that just does one-size-fits-all clothing.
I'm sure there's others, but we just don't know.
I kind of want to discuss, like, even though this may be, like, a marketing strategy that, like, they feel is right because, also they did some research. Like, Brandy Melville does, like, one-size-fits-all because it's also, like, really cheap, apparently, in, like, the production.
I didn't think of that. It saves money, yeah.
But I feel like having, like, spreading this word of, like, you need to be thin and, like, in order to fit in our clothes is really unethical, especially because I feel like adolescence is a time where, like, we change a lot of things about ourselves and, like, we kind of perceive ourselves differently from younger, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I would want to talk to them and be like, this isn't a right marketing strategy and there's other ways to kind of communicate, like, body positivity rather than bringing down other people.
Well, yeah, it is a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Whether
I would kind of like pivot away.
Yeah, it's like there are consequences to this marketing strategy that perhaps we can still promote our product, but doing it in a more ethical way. Yeah, that's respectful of everybody who's viewing this material. No, that's a great point. We are almost out of time. Mm-hmm. Do you have any closing words that you'd like to say to future independent student researchers at the high school level?
Don't be scared to pivot.
Okay.
Like, I feel like a lot of people are really scared to change their topic because they're so attached to it.
Yeah.
And also, like, they think that it's like their final thing. But, like, even if you change last minute, like, it'll be for the best. Because, like, I changed in, like, February.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And even though it's really difficult, I think presenting, like, my overall, like, presentation for the research, for AP research, and also, like, having more knowledge and me liking this topic even more, like, brought me more motivation to just finish this project and how, like, and ties back into, like, what my interests are. So Don't be scared to pivot.
Don't be scared to pivot.
Yeah.
You might find something better than what you started with.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you. Bye.